welcome to another edition of Bossin Out, everybody. The food, sports, shenanigans, and whatever else comes to mind. What's going on, sir? Welcome back.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Good to see you. The one and the only Donnie B, Brandon Bachek, along with yours truly, Carl Boss. We're back in the saddle again. It's been a little minute. What have you been up to, sir?
Not much. Just went on a little bit of a vacation.
You're looking pretty handsome.
You're looking like a Don Cheeto over here.
I don't know about that, but you know what? But so what's up? You went what? Myrtle Beach, right?
Went to Myrtle Beach for a week with the family. Did a little golf, little sightseeing. Just
a good time of year
on the beach in October, which you can't do much here, so take advantage of it.
Yeah, unless you want shrinkage.
Major.
Yeah.
Major.
Yeah.
So it was a great time.
Absolutely. So how was your golf game?
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. Not like my dad. My dad's like the pro, PGA Tour pro, and then there's me just existing out there.
I'm horrendous. I got to take lessons or something. I went to I go to the driving range, and it's like it looks like it's skipping a stone. It's just like, and I'm like looking out in the distance, and I'm like, where did it go? And I look down, and it's like, it like rolls off into the. I'm like, well, that nobody saw that.
Not an easy sport to master. I'll tell you that.
It is
very
not.
difficult.
It is not. Since I went to the Poconos, we had a good time up there. Bachelor party.
It's always fun.
Bachelor party. I love bachelor parties. It's like a license to act like an animal for
it is. It's
a weekend.
An excuse. Absolutely.
It is. It's great.
Let loose.
It is. Yes. Boss, we threw a bachelor party for him earlier this year. We had a good time, right?
Yes, we did.
There you go.
Philadelphia.
Yes. So we got a packed show, everybody.
Yes.
Thank you again for tuning in. I can't believe it's October. It's fall already.
It's almost November.
It's next thing you know, we'll be having we got to have some kind of holiday episode.
Yes,
where we're
I agree.
Some kind of gift exchange.
I like it.
I love it. I love it. It'll be.
I'm down.
Yes, just it feels good to give. Yes, the gift that keeps on giving, like this show here. So let's kick things off. So you might look around, you might see some buns. We got some ballpark Franks. It can only mean one thing. What's that, sir?
It's a World Series.
It's a World Series. It's October.
It is.
It's time for a little, red October. Well, not red October, not for us, not for me this year. But it's a World Series. It's time for a little the baseball grand finale of the year. So,
yes.
What do you think so far of the World Series?
I love it. I'm pulling for the Braves. Up 1-0 right now. Game 2 tonight. I think they only won like 88 games in the regular season, so a little bit like a Cinderella story. So
it's about getting hot at the right time.
That's what it is,
right?
That's what it is.
That's what it's all about. You got a team like the 2001 Seattle Mariners that won 120 games.
Yep, knocked out.
Second round, I think. First round.
Like that, yeah.
First or second round.
And I think that's the year the Diamondbacks beat the Yankees.
That is correct. Yeah. Yes, that was a kind of a shocker. Remember that?
It was. I was very surprised, very upset, very surprised. But
how old were you in 2001?
I was 10. I was a little guy.
Yeah, good stuff. Yep.
But
how did you feel when they lost the World Series?
That was, I think, the first time I witnessed a World Series loss. I think they won like the 3 prior or something like that. So, I didn't know how to handle a loss. I was heartbroken. I was expecting, it's the Yankees. Clearly, all they do was win. It's all I knew as a kid. Mm-hmm. So when that happened...
Yeah, 96, 98, 99, 2000.
Yeah.
And then, dropping the hat. Who are the Diamondbacks?
Yeah.
What is that, like an expansion team?
Exactly. I was heartbroken. Absolutely heartbroken. That's probably my first heartbreak.
Yeah, I know that feeling. In 2005, when the Eagles lost the Super Bowl, I didn't know how to handle that. I think I dumped a tray of food over in my living room, and then I went and cried in the bathtub.
I think you just ran upstairs and cried.
I did in the bathtub. Yeah, I did. I sat in the bathtub in my Terrell Owens jersey.
It's a hard pain. It's a terrible pain. It's a terrible pain. It's deep.
It is. I went into school. Everybody harassed me.
That's the worst.
Coming in with doing the Eagles wings.
Yep.
And I'm like,
It's the worst.
I didn't handle it. But we have some World Series memories together, working retail, right?
We do.
Remember that?
I do, and that was great too because the Yankees won for me. I mean, maybe not so much for you.
The year prior that,
the year prior, you
jumped
were there.
into somebody's arms and good times. Yes,
a lot of good times there.
With that being said, kind of pivoting a little bit, since none of our teams are in the World Series this year, so not a whole lot to talk about there. What would you say one of your all-time favorite baseball memories is?
In pro or just in
anything
general?
You want? It's whatever you want it to be.
Probably winning Little League, winning the league, winning the championship. My first championship as a player with a great group of guys. Mm-hmm. My first taste of an actual championship. I'll never be tops. Never be tops.
I don't know what that's like. I've never been good at sports. I've never been good at really anything. So I don't have any kind of championship. I got to figure out That's maybe another episode for another time. Let's try to. I'll have to work on getting good at something to win a championship.
There you go.
Even if it's like some kind of random.
Make it like marbles or something. Something
checkers.
easy.
Yeah, I don't know if at 32 my athletic skill set is maybe the best for sporting.
Might need to pivot from like actual physical sports. So I said maybe some Tetris.
Do that.
You know?
I'm thinking about doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu though.
Chiming in, I've actually mastered Tetris in the past month, so
Well, then maybe you need to do it.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to coach you to be the champion of world championship, world heavyweight champion of Tetris.
That'd be impressive.
But Jiu-Jitsu, that'd be kind of
That'd be great.
dope.
Because you know
right?
what? Doesn't matter how old you are. It's always a great workout. Get in shape. Always good to know.
It is. I mean, I'll get my ass kicked for sure. But
I mean, it's supposed to happen.
it is.
You know?
But even if you work your way up a little bit, at least it's some kind of
Little bit, and
you
you'll-
walk in the room a little bit, puff your chest out.
Hey, and you'll know more than probably 90% of the country.
Yep. Somebody
Yeah.
comes up behind me and then
Rear naked
Arm bar,
choke.
bam.
Oh,
throw him to the ground. I love it.
yeah, I like it.
My favorite baseball memory, let's see, probably obviously the
Sure.
Phillies won the World Series, but I was there when Jim Thome hit his 400th home run in 2004.
Nice.
That was cool.
That is.
I also attended in 2010 when Roy Halladay threw a no-hitter in the
Rest
playoffs.
in peace.
That, R.I.P. Doc. That was a great moment. I got it
Absolutely.
on my phone, actually, because
Yeah.
as it was the final inning, I'm like, holy crap.
Of
Like,
course.
history's going to happen.
Yeah, you don't get to see that often.
Yeah, good times.
I
good
bet.
stuff.
Absolutely.
I'd probably go with that as my top baseball memory.
That's solid.
Yeah.
That's very solid.
You get to witness a no-hitter, especially the playoffs. That was like a big deal. At the time.
That's the hardest time to do it.
Yeah, with the
best
Hall
of the
of Famer.
best. You know, that's awesome.
Yeah, good stuff. So, pivoting a little bit from one field to the other, diamond over the gridiron a little bit. We're kind of a few weeks in.
Sure.
How's your fantasy team looking?
Not good. Everyone is dead on the bench. IR. I'm playing with scrubs, trying to pick random people up in the waiver. 3 and 4, trying to make a comeback, but it's gonna be tough.
Don't call it a comeback. Yeah, I'm struggling too. The last few, I went on a run the last few years,
Yeah.
and this year now it's my off. I'm rebuilding at this point.
This is definitely a rebuild year. Yes, it's very difficult.
It's rough. But over to the actual games, who do you think at this point standouts and who's a bust? What teams do you think are real contenders? Which teams are pretenders? What do you think?
I'll tell you what, who I'm surprised is the Kansas City Chiefs.
I know.
You know,
right?
they rebuilt that whole O-line. That seemed like that was the missing piece from their disaster Super Bowl last year. And they were going to come back and run the AFC, get right back. And I was not expecting that. They look terrible.
What
Mahomes
happened?
has 8 interceptions. I think he only threw, 10 of the previous 2 years combined.
Yep.
So definitely not understanding what's going on over there in Kansas City.
Do you think it's just that teams have enough film on him now to figure out his
possible.
every move?
I would say it's definitely possible. He's been started for 3-4 years.
2018, I want to say.
18,
Yeah, I think
so it's his fourth
he was
year?
drafted in 17, sat on the bench for a year behind Alex
Yeah.
Smith.
Okay. So about 4 years starting. So he's definitely got the film. I mean, there's definitely gonna be more to it. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm honestly shocked what's going on over there. I thought there were another 13. Well, now this year they had an extra game, 14 and 3.
That's gonna be weird. Saying,
It is weird.
What's your record? 10 and 7.
Yeah,
Like,
changing the
excuse
record
me?
books now. Everyone's getting an extra game. I don't know. It's
I know.
different.
So if you run for 2,000 yards, it might not be a big deal anymore.
Might not. Might
Derrick
not.
Henry already has 878 yards.
He's unreal.
He's
Unreal.
I saw some, and this was a perfect way to put it. Somebody posted on Instagram or Twitter or something like that. It was he was the guy that we all created in Madden.
Yes, I did see that.
I was like,
He
that is the perfect way to put it.
99 strength, 99 speed, 99 trucking,
He's
ball
just
carrying.
big giant limbs, just
Can't
like a
stop him.
linebacker in the running back position.
And
It's
then
like a
you
life hack.
You see what he did last year? Was it Josh Norman, that stiff arm? That
Mm-hmm.
was a video game animation. The guy's unreal.
Yeah,
Unreal.
for sure. Eagles need a lot of help. I don't know what's going on there. I think they just need to fire everybody. Just fire everybody.
Minshew could be starting soon.
Can you imagine that? I wrote on Twitter recently, I said, he comes in and
Yeah.
takes us to the playoffs, goes on a run, with that kind of character. He's like the hero that Philly never knew they needed.
Yeah, he's a goofy guy.
He is.
You gotta love him. He's
Yeah.
a guy. He's probably the one Philadelphia sport player that even the biggest Philadelphia hater can't hate, like me. I love Gardner Minshew.
How could you not
can't
like
hate
him?
He's crazy. He's a lunatic.
He
I love
is.
him.
And a great mustache.
Great
too.
mustache. I can't grow any facial hair, clearly, so I'm jealous.
Have you ever tried to grow a mustache? You had a little something going on.
It's a little. It doesn't
little bit.
connect. It's all patchy. It's a mess.
got a
It's
little-
a mess. I can't grow that,
A
man.
little thing.
It's a little something. I don't know what you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's a shame. It's a shame. I wasn't blessed with good genes, put it that way.
Me, I'm like an animal. This is like 3 days. Like, if I shave it off, like 2 days
I
later,
couldn't grow that in 3 months. So, that's impressive.
It's coming in. It's all salt and pepper and all that.
Hey, it looks good.
Falling out everywhere else, but whatever.
It looks good.
Yeah.
It looks good.
I'll take it. Yeah. Anyway. I think Arizona Cardinals look really good.
Yep.
In the Dallas Cowboys, we'll see what happens. They always play really well in September, October, December. We'll see if they can hold together.
I agree.
We'll see. They're to be determined there. So we'll see what happens. But early Super Bowl predictions. Just kind of wrap this topic up. I know we're super early in, but what do you think?
You know what? I won't be surprised if somehow, some way, at least in the NFC, the Cardinals could sneak in. The NFL's only undefeated team. Obviously, there's plenty of time left. But, I mean, they look really good, man. They are clicking on all cylinders, offense, defense, special teams. Not saying they will. I just won't be surprised.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised either, but we'll see if they run in what happens in the playoff time. You got to play Tampa with some of that mental capacity of the greatest football player of all time.
Tom Brady. Can't ever count him out.
He can't.
Never.
He can't ever.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens, but surely interesting enough. New cast of characters, it seems like, in the league. Kansas City's window seems to be closing a little bit.
Yep.
Except for Terrific Tom. Still there. I was in 6th grade.
Wine.
Yeah.
It's a fine wine.
Gets better with age. It looks handsome, too.
He does.
Anyway. So what do we say? I'm getting a little hungry. Let's cook a hot dog.
Let's do it.
I got this hot dog maker here. Let's figure out.
Before.
I've never seen it before. Let's try to figure out how to use it.
All right.
So Boss, producer over here, will have to kind of walk me through how to use this. I think it's plugged in.
Yeah, don't tug on it.
Gotcha.
All right, so I think you just grab a...
Yeah, you just put it in and then you push this down.
Just grab a...
All right, just grab a wiener.
Grab a wiener, just drop it right in the hole, like that.
So it's like a toaster.
And then you just push it down, right? Like that?
The other side.
Look at that. I'm already dropping the ball here.
There you go.
You know what? If this works out,
it's done.
I might need one of these.
You might need to get one. You have hot dogs on demand.
I'm just going to say I had one of these. I love it.
Okay, good.
I might need to get one.
There you go,
Thank you, sir.
So I guess it just, pops out? Like
a toaster.
Okay.
Yeah, right?
And then you have to catch it.
So we got your condiments over here. So what do you like on your hot dog, sir? What's your go-to? It's baseball season.
Yeah.
You know, nothing goes better with baseball. You're sitting in the stands with a good ballpark hot dog.
I like it all. I like the ketchup, the mustard, and the relish. Mm-hmm. That's my go-to. And here we are.
That's what we got there.
That is a perfect setup.
I wanted to get those little onions you put on there, but my wife's like, no, you're going to waste it. You're going to use it for the segment, and then it's going to sit in the fridge for 7 months. Look at that. Boss Man Boss. We got a little onion ring action. Well, that's... cheers, brother.
Cheers, absolutely.
Salud. All right, so as we move on a little bit into our next topic here. So another thing that pairs well with hot dogs is, of course, you got to have a good ice cold, frosty cold one.
Absolutely.
So if you were to be the new spokesperson for Bud Light, what would be your pitch? I need you to pitch me right now.
Oh man,
you're the Bud Light. You're the new spokesperson for Bud Light.
You know what, Bud Light, man. To me, I'm a light beer guy. Bud Light, it just tastes like a beer should. You know, it's simple. It tastes like a beer should.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good tagline right there.
You know?
Look at that. That's marketing 101.
There it is.
Tastes like a beer should.
Yep. Bud Light sponsor us.
You hear that? I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. So I'm going to go Budweiser, the king of beers. You know, and I am in marketing. I should have a better answer for this. But I'm going to go with, the taste of America. That's what Budweiser is. Look at it.
Okay.
Nothing says America like the classic Budweiser red bottle with the crown and everything they got on.
I like it.
The taste of America.
Taste of America.
That's it. Yes.
That's a great
Salud.
one.
See,
absolutely.
Look,
cheers.
If we our next career, we're going to be spokesperson for Anheuser-Busch. I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it. All right, so while our hot dogs are roasting away in that little contraption over there, hopefully it'll burn the set down while we're doing this.
Hopefully we survive it.
Yes, absolutely. So I saw something recently. So obviously you were a XFL season ticket holder at once upon a time, weren't you?
I was. New York Guardians.
So they apparently are coming back next year, but they're also bringing back. They announced recently the USFL, which was a league in the '80s. To bring it back this year. The Philadelphia Stars and a couple other teams. I think they're playing all their games in one stadium next year. Really? And the idea is by season 3 they're going to move to their own markets. And look at that!
Look what's ready.
All right. So my question for you is, do you think these leagues have the ability to stand up and last for more than one season?
You know what? It's tough. I feel like if they used it as kind of like a minor league to the NFL, it would have a decent shot. I think the XFL definitely can. I mean, it's got a little bit of a notorious history. You got, The Rock now is the owner, so I think there's some excitement. Now, the USFL, I don't know, man. It might be tough for having outside the NFL, two other organizations lasting in the same season.
Almost lost our
We got it.
hot dog there.
We got it. We are good.
See? We're all good.
And we only have like 10 other ones.
We meant to do that, yeah. Look at that. Not bad. You have to let me know how that is.
Yeah, it looks good to me.
So there's those two leagues, and there's another. This is an interesting concept. I was reading. I went down a rabbit hole. They have this other league that launched this past year called the FCF, fan-controlled football. Mm-hmm. So you obviously know the backstory, and
I watched some of the games.
You can actually buy a share of the team for like $150, and it's all crowdsourced leagues. Apparently had decent success. They're actually expanding the league for 2022, which is great. So it's kind of an interesting concept. It's just like the fans fund the team and actually
call the plays
like via like voting system on
the phone or whatever.
That's kind of cool. It's like kind of blends like the playing Madden with real people.
I watched it a little bit last year. I watched Bob Menery's team. He owned the Zappers. Mm-hmm. They briefly had Johnny Manziel as the quarterback on there.
Yep.
I think what's the name, like Marshawn Lynch was in there for a game or something at one point.
I think he owns one of the teams.
Owns one,
everybody owns a team.
But it's definitely unique. It's definitely different. It's good to hear that it's coming back. I'm interested in it.
I know. I might buy it because it's just cool to say, hey, I own a professional football team.
Yeah, it's very cheap to get into.
So, I think I put too much.
That's a lot of relish, my man.
I did the whole like kind of finesse it out and then just a whole avalanche. So, what are you gonna do, right? Yeah. It's live TV.
It is. Mistakes happen.
I think it's cool. It's unique. It's kind of like puts more power. It's like more skin in the game for the fans itself. It's not fantasy football. It's not just watching football, stake in the game. It's like no, they actually get to play the role of GM. It's like fantasy football in real life.
Offensive coordinator, head coach, whatever you want to call it.
100%. So it's interesting, and I think I could see them actually expanding this into other sports as well.
Yeah,
we could do a fan-controlled baseball league or fan-controlled, whatever. I think
it's unique, man.
It is
definitely unique.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So I think there's a place for it. So kind of moving on a little bit. If you had to say, we all have this. Okay. Let's say you're driving down 295, you're by yourself. Maybe everybody's got that guilty pleasure song they like to play that maybe you're embarrassed to admit in public, but when it comes on, you turn it up a little bit.
Okay.
What would that guilty pleasure song be?
Zero embarrassment. I Will Always Love You, Whitney Houston. Absolute classic. Love. It's always good. Doesn't matter the time of day, the time of night, whatever it is. Whatever your mood is, phenomenal song.
I love it. I love a good Whitney Houston classic.
Yes.
Me, I played the song while I was doing the dishes the other night. I'm going to say The Power of Love by Celine Dion from 1994.
Okay, where's got the year?
Because I'm your lady, you're my man.
It's another solid choice.
Oh my God, that percussion hits. It's powerful.
It's good.
It is.
It's good.
I love it. That and maybe a little like Taylor Dane or like from the 80s or 90s. Tell it to my heart.
I thought you were going to say Taylor Swift, man. I was
I'll get behind that too.
Could you?
I could. You know what? I don't shy away from anything. If it sounds good, the beat's all right, I'm in. I'm in.
That is true. You got a very wide range.
I am. I'm comfortable with myself.
Yes, you are.
Anyway,
you are.
that's what we have to be. They're just comfortable with ourselves.
Yes. Gotta be.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So, pivoting over from the field to the hardwood a little bit.
Okay.
NBA season kicks off a little bit. How are you feeling so far? Your outlook in the upcoming year. Obviously, there's some controversy all around the league with different reasons.
Yep.
What do you think? Give me your take on the NBA season right now.
It's interesting. You're seeing the Lakers with their early struggles. They went, they go like 0-4, 5, whatever it was in the preseason, dropped their first couple games in the regular season. They're off to a very slow start. LeBron's now hurt. So that's a little bit shocking. My team, obviously a big Nets fan. There's a whole everything dealing with Kyrie. So I think if Kyrie doesn't get in, if he can't play this year, that's going to be a big blow to the East, big blow to Nets fans like myself. very early on, but I'll tell you what, it's definitely been interesting. There's a lot of moving parts. The Bulls are looking great. Their first, 4-0 start since a 96 Bulls, I think they said.
Something like that, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep.
A lot of good
Do you think
things going.
Kyrie Irving will play basketball this year for the Brooklyn Nets?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Usually I can lean one way, but I think he's going to or not. I don't know what's going to happen. With the laws and rules in New York, and then, where Kyrie stands on his personal beliefs.
Yeah. It's tough.
I don't know. It's very tough.
We're in a very outspoken time period in life, generally, where people believe one thing or they believe the other thing, and they're willing to die on that hill, whatever it takes. So,
absolutely.
We'll see. I'm dealing with different stuff with Ben Simmons acting like a complete immature person.
Yep.
Just doesn't want to show up to practice.
No effort.
No effort at all.
His teammates are now speaking out against him, like Embiid. Obviously, Doc Rivers.
It's just like, if you don't want to be here, you don't want to play in a league, then
void your contract.
That's it. Just
void your contract.
I don't know what he wants. Like,
I don't know. He's got this whole city and team that's always been behind him. Had that weird playoffs where he just he couldn't shoot, whatever happened, and then off season just went off the rails. And, I don't know. It's amazing. It's a lot of. It's hard to wrap your head around it.
It is. It really is. It's tough. And the Lakers, I could picture that. It's hard to get chemistry, especially with some of those older guys they got on the team. So we'll see what happens in April. When they have to bring it all together when it really counts.
Sure.
But
we'll see. Time will tell.
Time will tell for sure. So moving on a little bit, talking about a little guilty pleasure stuff. So let's say you're you see a nice young lady that you'd like to pursue. And you want to go, ask her out on a date or something like that, or to have a hot dog together or something like that. What is your go-to pickup line?
Oh, man, I have zero pickup. I have no game. Honest, I don't even know what I would say.
I want you to ask me out on a date right now.
I think we're already on a date, aren't we?
I think we are.
Showed up and it happens.
We are. We're having hot dogs together. This is good. We're having a good time.
We are having a great time. You know what? I want to hear what you would ask me. You are a man of surprises.
Oh, I'm full of surprises.
Life of the party, no matter where he goes, whether he knows no one. You have proven you can pick up anyone you want. Friends. You have a beautiful wife now. I want to hear what you would say. How'd you pick up Natalie?
It's a funny story. I was in college and I added her on Facebook. What she doesn't know is I added all the girls in the class on Facebook. So it's like a process of elimination thing. I've admitted that to her later.
Okay.
But and then she wrote me a note saying, "How did you do on that test?" And I said, "I think I did all right. Here's my number or something if you want to study or something."
Okay.
And here we are 12 years later.
12 years later.
Yeah, married, another baby on the way.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It started with adding every single girl in the class.
I did. It's a numbers.
And hey, you know what? All you needed was one to land.
That's it.
And it landed.
That's it. It landed. But can you imagine? I thought about that. It's like, what if somebody else responded to that?
Yeah.
Or what if she just... what if I just didn't answer the message? Or my whole entire universe can be
That's
different.
the beauty of life, man. All different roads lead to different directions. Mm-hmm. But it all worked out. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should just start firing off Facebook friend requests and see which one lands. I don't know. I can't use the study thing anymore, but I can think of something else.
Be like, I don't know. I'm not studying for what? I don't know. I'm taking a tugboat exam. I'm learning how to be a captain.
Just make something up. You have to start firing off friend requests. See what happens. See if one lands.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Absolutely.
it.
Something like that.
Style.
Hey, you got to take what do they say? You miss all the shots you don't take, or something like that. So maybe you're going to be a tugboat captain. You have to look that up. How do you
operate a tugboat? I'm sure YouTube's got something.
I'm sure they do. Yeah. That's your story. You're going to go with. I'm working on my tugboat captain's license.
And I finally meet her.
Yeah.
I have no tugboat.
And then she's like, "Oh, are you going to take me for a ride in a tugboat?"
Wait, what tugboat? I got to talk to you about something.
Oh my God, yeah. You're like, no, but you gotta go through with the fib all the way and literally drive down the shore.
You gotta drive it out.
Drive down to the docks and literally about to get on it and try to get on it until the shoreman's like,
cannot.
The shoreman's like,
what are you doing?
Why are you trespassing? Can you imagine?
Why are you here? Why is your car on the dock?
You're like, I'm supposed to be here. I'm taking
a tugboat license. He told me to meet me here.
I did, yeah. And you gotta
you just play dramatic, all theatrics.
Yeah, that's it. Absolutely. That was good. Yeah.
That was good.
I have to look into it. I wonder how you like start that. How do you learn how to like? I don't know. I got nothing.
Google.
Yeah.
That's where you start with everything.
Google's the answer. I love everything. So let's move on a little bit. This is a fun one.
Sure.
Because you're a car guy. I'm a car guy a little bit. So let's say you had any budget.
Okay.
And you could restore any car, modify any car. You take a stock car, turn it into whatever you want. What's your project look like?
I'd probably go with an old like Firebird or Trans Am, man. I always loved those cars, especially was it the '95 Trans Am or Firebird? Beautiful car. I would love to have one restored now and be able to whip that around a little bit. You don't see them on the road anymore.
Stands out.
Love that.
The lines on it are great. I had a '96 Firebird.
Yeah, was it black, right?
Black,
yeah.
with that red chicken hawk in the front.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah.
I should have kept it. This is like a Sunday
gorgeous,
car.
man. Was it a T-top?
No, it was convertible.
Convertible, yeah.
Yeah, take the top off. I remember driving around, it was like January. I'd still put the top down because I just wanted to like put the top down.
Yeah.
And, I get like hypothermia on the highway, but...
worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it.
Every bit of it.
It would smell like exhaust getting out of it, and I used to take it through the car wash. It would just leak coming through everywhere, but super uncomfortable to ride in.
Yeah,
because the seats are like these little seat.
Yeah, it's definitely
seats.
not like a long distance ride, just around town Sunday drive.
Oh yeah, if you drive to like cross country, you get like scoliosis.
Yeah, you're not getting out of the car.
No,
you're gonna be stuck in it.
No, but looks great.
Beautiful,
absolutely beautiful car. I don't know. We'll have to find one. Maybe if we get enough budget, or we get Budweiser or Bud Light to sponsor us.
We can restore one, maybe.
Let's find a. We'll do a in the garage episode of Bossin Out where we get a project car, and obviously if somebody wants to pay for it, we'll try to put it together.
I love it.
Yeah, you like that?
I love it.
You like that? Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's see. What would I do? I don't know.
Your Civic.
I could do a Honda Civic, like a 2001 Honda Civic, and put like
find the blue one that you had.
The biggest wing I could find, some big 18-inch. Rims on it with a blue underglow. I love that car. At the time, 18, I put a DVD player in the dashboard that slid out. You push a button, it came out all like.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It was ahead of its time because you could plug. This was 2007. You could plug your iPhone into it and like have your phone come up on the thing. That's like something you'd see in a car now.
That is true.
And that was like way ahead of its time at the time. But I would do that, or. There's this car, the Cadillac Alante. It's a convertible. Okay. They only made from like 87 and 91. They actually made it in Italy. It was like a Italian manufactured Cadillac.
Interesting.
Terrible sales, but so they canceled it. But really expensive at the time. But I saw one on the side of the road for sale. It was like old and kind of beat up. I was like, love to pull over. It was like in Pennington area.
Okay.
I would love to pull over and just buy that and like put it in the garage and like over time like
definitely not something you see on the road too often. I'll tell you that.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, I like it.
Again, it's fun to dream, right?
Hey, I like it.
That or I want to get I told my wife for my 40th birthday I want to get a boat. So if you were gonna get it might be an inflatable raft, but
it's still technically a boat, right?
As if it floats
on water.
That's
paddle out. Yeah.
So my next question for you is: if you're gonna get a boat, what would you name it?
Name it. That's a great question, man. What would I name my boat? You caught me off guard with that one. You know what? There is a boat out there called. I actually saw it in South Carolina. It's like a Rocky Mountain speedboat or something like that. I forget what it's called. It's 2 LS2 engines in it. Insanely fast. I would want that. What I would name it, I don't even know. But that's what I would get. Two Corvette engines in it. Sign me up, man.
Oh my God!
Sign me up.
You better hold on to your hat on that one.
It is fast. It is unbelievable. I looked one up. I was like, okay, I'll go save up for one. I could probably afford it. A used one was $250,000.
Oh my God.
Used. And I was like, okay, probably never gonna be in my budget.
Yeah,
well, you said to dream, right?
To dream for sure. You never know what could happen. I'm thinking for naming a boat, it would go between two names here.
Let's hear it.
One of two Robert Palmer songs. It would be either Simply Irresistible or Addicted to Love.
I like that. I would go with the Addicted to Love. I like that.
Or the third option from a Robert Palmer song, I Didn't Mean to Turn You On.
Carl, I'm not surprised. That is a very Carl answer there.
Oh my God.
I like it. I like it.
I love it. So let's pivot a little bit to current events, shall we? Right?
Let's do it.
How's that hot dog? You want another hot dog?
You know what?
Let's throw one in there. Let's throw a hot dog in, right? Get you some. So it looks we're pros at this. Hopefully we don't.
You throwing one in there too, or no?
Yeah, let's throw a hot dog in there.
Okay.
grab your. It's cheers with our hot dogs.
Cheers. Cheers with the wieners. All right.
Oh,
Let's
all
go.
right.
I think we're in there.
Yep. So let's pivot to current events for a little bit. So I saw a recent article. There's a startup company out there that is selling a hoverbike for $680,000.
$680,000.
Can you imagine that? So my question for you is this something, let's say money is no object. Would you get one of these?
Money's no object?
Well, let's say money is a little bit of object. But
I can still comfortably afford it?
You could afford it, but it's just like, well, I could buy my third vacation home, or I could buy a hoverbike.
I'd probably go with the bike. If I already have 2 homes, I don't need a third. Let's go with the hoverbike. No one has it. Pull up to work, pull up wherever.
Pull up to your girl's house.
Yeah, pull up my girls, and I'm a hoverbike.
Like, hey, what's up?
Absolutely. If money wasn't an option.
There's your pickup line. You want to ride my hoverbike?
Yeah, exactly. There it is. And so if money wasn't an option, I can easily afford that. Absolutely, I would get that.
It would, but I'm just, you know
you're
what?
Elon Musk.
Oh,
money to blow. It's like, why not?
Sure, I get 2. I get one for all my friends.
I just have 4 of them.
Yeah, I get one for all my friends who just ride around the front like that.
Absolutely, I would get that. Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah,
I want to see it come to market. I want to see it be sold.
It is, but we'll see. I wonder what kind of license you need for that, like a motorcycle.
I would not be surprised if some special. Yeah, aircraft.
License. I don't know.
Like, who knows? Especially how fast that thing maybe goes.
And how does it work? Like, how do you stay above? Like, how do you
how high is it coming up?
I just assume it's like the Jetsons or something like that.
I'll definitely keep an eye on it because I'm interested.
Yeah.
Not that I'll be able to afford it, but I'm definitely
just type in Google
see what's
hoverbike and it should be the first thing that comes up. So let's pivot a little bit. Obviously, the last few years of movies, we've seen a lot of reboots. They're rebooting the Scream movie series.
Okay.
Next year. What do you think about movie reboots? Are you a fan? Do you like them for nostalgia purposes, or do you think they just leave things as they should be?
I mean, I guess it depends on the movie. Scream, it was cool in the 90s. Like, I think it was definitely, especially as like a little kid, of course, it was like scary, it was cool. I think I was Scream for Halloween one year. Scream now as someone in my 30s, I don't know. I don't think I'd maybe see it, but I'm not going to kick down the doors of the movie theater to be first in line to see it.
Yeah, and you say, hey, do you want to ride on my hoverbike to go see Scream?
I have my hoverbike, I might just take it out for a ride and stumble upon the movie. But I don't know. It might. I might give it a look. We'll see.
Another reboot that's coming out. I saw a trailer for.
Okay.
They're making a new Home Alone sequel. With like a new kid, but it's supposed to be like the older brother Buzz is like a police officer in the show. So it's just like.
There we are.
That sounds like it's hot dog time. All right, I love it. So let's get you some. Grab a bun there. This is a little nifty machine.
I like it.
I love it.
I'm about to get one.
Boss, did you get a hot dog?
Oh, after the show.
All right. So I don't know. I saw it. The movie looks like trash.
Does it? Yeah, I didn't see a preview.
It just looks like silly.
Is it next year coming out?
I don't know when it's coming out.
Yeah.
Probably next year. Probably next year this summer.
I just think sometimes they should leave things how they end it. Like it was great in the 90s or whenever it was out. I don't think every series needs a reboot.
No. No, absolutely. Just kind of leave things that were come up with something original.
Because then I feel like it takes away from the original when you do a reboot and then it bombs. It's like I feel like it takes away from the series.
It does a little bit because
it was great like
Joe Pesci and all that in the 90s, and then you got this like crap they put it out.
Whoever is starring in it, some low budget, no name.
Yeah, like I got nothing.
Yeah, I think leave it in the past.
Oh.
Need this? A little struggling there.
So, pivoting over to the Octagon a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, once again, Jon Jones has had some legal struggles.
Of course.
Does he come back from this one this time?
I don't know, because it was just about a month ago, I think, in Vegas. He had a little bit of a domestic issue and something with destroying a police car. I mean, it's just stacked on everything else he's been in. I mean, I guess if Dana White just wants to throw a big money pay-per-view, he might. But I feel like Dana's kind of sick of him, too. It's just a big, dark cloud over his head that follows him everywhere. And I don't know. I mean, I won't be surprised if he's back, but I just can't see how they bring him back. Now, how many chances do you give him?
I don't know, and I don't think he's that big of a draw to where,
he's getting older now.
He's getting older, and he's obviously one of the greatest fighters of all time. But he's his own worst enemy.
He is.
And it's not like you bring Conor McGregor and all the problems he's had. At least he will sell you. He'll make you like $70 million.
Because he's at least been relevant in his fought recently. When's the last time Bones has fought?
February 2020.
2020. So, yeah, you're going on almost 2 years.
He was supposed to go up to heavyweight.
Yeah.
He's putting all his weight in training, and then he's kind of contract disputes, and then he gets in trouble again.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he comes back. And I'm not even that interested if he does, you know?
I know, because he's getting older. He's, late 30s now. So it's just like, just think of what could have been. If he
could have been
never
the
got in
greatest
trouble.
of all time. I mean, maybe some people may view him like that, but I think he'd be clear-cut greatest of all time if he just keep his nose clean.
For sure. I agree. I think we're on the same page. So pivoting over a little bit, staying in the combat lane.
Yeah.
There's this new league that came out a couple years ago. Have you ever seen Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship?
Paige Van Zandt fought in it.
She did.
She has 2 fights in there now.
2 losses. Yeah.
2 losses.
But yeah, absolutely. Do you think this is something long term? Is this like the future of combat sports, or is this like just kind of a fad?
I think, I think it depends probably on who they can get to agree to fight. Like a Paige Van Zandt. If you can get other bigger names that have come from UFC, then I think it can stick around. But if not, no, who's really going to want to watch a bunch of people that no one knows about? You definitely need a name to draw the attention. Paige was a good start.
Yeah.
If they can get people like that, I think it can be around. If not, it might be something that it just kind of exists quietly for a couple years and fades.
Yeah, it's like a circus act a little bit.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. Some of the fights are exciting.
Yeah.
I
know Dana's not a big fan of it.
Yeah.
In terms of like the safety and health of a fighter, which he's got a point. I mean, it's literally organized street fighting.
It literally is.
Yeah.
Every Jorge Masvidal started like his own league too, like Game Bred Fighting, which is like it's like bare knuckle but MMA, so it's literally like the grappling and wrestling aspect with the bare knuckle, so you're literally beating shit out of it.
It's scary, man.
Yeah.
It takes a real bad to get into that octagon or ring, whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a giant circle. It's like a
I'll tell you what, you wouldn't catch me in there.
Yeah.
You're not
so like
me
you're
in
literally like guaranteed to like get injured.
Destroyed.
Cut up and everything. Like everybody comes out as like a pure bloodbath.
Yeah, I mean, look at like Paige. Paige is one of like the most successful like women like UFC fighters, and she got in there and got wrecked twice.
Yeah, yeah.
It's serious stuff in there, man.
But hey, to each his own. I'll tune in, sit here from the home, the comfort of my own home, and just have some onion rings and perhaps a hot dog.
Give terrible advice to these fighters they should be doing while I sit here, eating this.
That's it, absolutely. So I think that kind of brings us to the wrap up point of the show. Any final remarks from you, sir? It's been good to see you, sir. There's nobody I'd rather share a hot dog with.
I agree. It's been good to be, or it is good to be back. I said it's been a while. We have had some, things going on in our lives that we couldn't, get together last month. But it's good to be back. Good to get episode 3 out. Mm-hmm. Looking forward to keep going. Yep, absolutely. On to the holidays and a big year ahead. Some cool announcements coming soon. But stay tuned to our social media accounts for more to come on that. Absolutely. So, kind of wrapping things up. I'm Carl, as always. I'm Brandon, and Bud Light, how a beer should taste. Yes. And Carl, Budweiser, the taste of America. Cheers, brother. Good to see you, sir. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Check us out on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You know where to find us. Yep. Bossin Out, and we'll see you next time.